Just do the right thing. And you didn't. So fuck you, man. You're a piece of shit. Hey guys, welcome back to Semper Fi Mechanic. My name's Thomas, and today's video, we're going to be talking about a guy named Chad Davis and why he sold me this piece of shit truck and everything that was wrong with it he hid from me. So if you want to hear this story about how he ripped me off, stay tuned because we're starting right now. Hey guys, how you feeling? You feeling strong physically? You feeling strong mentally? If so, that's good to go. If not, maybe you want to watch this video, enjoy the drama that's in my life. Maybe it'll take your mind off yours for a little bit. All right, so let's start from the beginning. It's around April or May. You guys remember I had a black Kia Soul, and that's what I was using as my mobile mechanic vehicle. We also had that little Honda Accord that we was trying to rip around. But honestly, it wasn't working out, and then the Kia Soul went down. Once that happened, we was out of a vehicle. And as a mobile mechanic, your number one tool is your vehicle, so we needed some help. And I made a couple of videos about it, talking about what was going on, talking about the vehicle being down, and what we needed to go ahead and continue our business. A lot of you guys came together and you donated some money. And the money you guys donated over the next month or two, and the money I saved, we came up with about $3,000, right? Now, a lot of people might be like, that's all? I mean, you don't have $3,000? No, I don't. I'm actually in debt. Now, about a year ago, we was doing fine, but that's when we went through our first lawsuit, remember? If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you remember I went through that lawsuit. That one took a lot of money from us. Did we win? Sure. The case was dismissed, but we had to buy the lawyer. Once again, we couldn't get our money back because there was something called the American rule here in Ohio, where you couldn't charge to get your attorney fees paid. That's a different subject. If you want to hear about that, I'll link it up here and you can look at the lawsuits. We also got sued a second time. We won that one, right? But anytime you win, this stuff is costing money. You're taking off work, or if you're hiring a lawyer. And in a business, it ain't if you get sued, it's when you get sued. I mean, there's just people out there that you can't make happy. But you can look these things up. These are public record, and you can see they both was dismissed in my favor. And I've made videos of that. I'll link that video up there as well, right? So we had two different lawsuits. Also going through a child custody battle that's been off and on for like 10 years for my son, who's 13. His name's Braylon. And I've had him on here a few times as well. You guys have seen him. But I'm only getting him maybe 3 or 4 days a month, right? And I'm supposed to be getting him 15 days a month. So this is a battle. Just between my divorce and my custody case, I've spent over $10,000. So once I retired from the military and got out, I had a little nest egg, about $14,000 that I've accumulated and saved up. In a matter of like the last 8 months, that thing has went to zero and then negative, right? And I had to get help from you guys. Once everybody came together and you guys helped me, we had $3,000. We started looking for a vehicle. Well, then we had a couple of the subscribers reach out, sending me pictures like, hey, I got this truck I can sell to you. One was like in California. You know, I mean, we got subscribers from all over. We got like 40 different countries that actually watch this channel. The people that was helping me or wanted to help was so far away, and the vehicles, it just wasn't worth it. It was a great gesture, but we only had $3,000. Like, we had to be careful. It's all the money we had, right? And I knew the vehicle I got, if you do find one, it's gonna need a lot of work. So I'm not stupid, I knew that. Well, then one day I get this email from a guy named Chad Davis. I open it up and he's talking about he's a subscriber, lives out of Texas. He's been watching my channel for a while. Says he has a vehicle for sale. And he says he's got a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500, 2-wheel drive, and it's a 5-speed manual. It's a work truck. I mean, it doesn't have electric windows, doesn't have anything like that. Tilt wheel, cruise control, nothing. It is a work truck, and it sounded great. And he said, I know you got $3,000. It's in your channel. He goes, I will sell it to you for $3,000. Well, he sent some pictures, and from outside the vehicle, let's not get this twisted. From outside, the vehicle looks great. Let's just be real about it. Exterior of it, I mean, you cannot beat that, especially in Ohio. Check this out. Look at that, no rust, right? Under here, look. So you cannot beat this on the exterior. The problem isn't with the way it looks great, and that's what tricked me. After we talked back and forth, we're trying to figure out, you know, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, he's down in Texas. How are we gonna do this? We're gonna fly down, pick up the truck and drive it back? We talked about that, and I said, well, that might take a while, maybe a couple months. If you still have the vehicle, then yeah, that would be great. But you ain't gotta hold it for me. If you can sell it, go ahead and sell it. I just can't get up, leave my family, fly 4 states away, and then drive back, you know, be gone 3 or 4 days. You know, I can't just do that. But the next day, Chad messages me and says, hey, I got an idea. I can drive this vehicle up to you, and then I can catch the plane the next day and come back. And I was like, oh, you can get a plane ticket like that? Like, you're willing to do that? He goes, yeah, I work at the airport. Come to find out, he is a mechanic for airplanes, but he also works on cars. He rebuilds cars. His family actually owned a garage, so pretty in-depth on vehicles and working on anything, really. So we're not talking about somebody that has no idea, okay? So anyways, like, yeah, I can get this deal where I can get on the plane and fly back pretty cheap. I said, brother, if you're willing to do that, man, that would be awesome. And we agreed to do that. Here comes the next day. He's messaging me, telling me he's on his way. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Like I said, I even made videos telling you guys, like, how wonderful this is. Like, man, this is great. What person would drive that far to drop the vehicle off? You know, who would do that? And I'm thinking, man, there's not a lot of people like this out in the world. And I told you guys how awesome he was. When he gets up here, it's like a Thursday, gets up here late. I'm like, all right, brother, I'll come and see you. He's like, no, let's just wait till tomorrow. I'm like, we got to fly out tomorrow. He's like, yeah, come here at 6 a.m. and look at the truck, and then you can drive the truck and drop me off at the airport at 8 a.m. I was thinking in my mind, well, they don't give me a lot of time to really look at it, but since we've been talking and he was already a mechanic and he sent me pictures and he did tell me that the AC didn't get real cool and the heat needed looked at. It was only lukewarm. Them are the things that he told me was wrong with it. So I thought, right? I'm thinking he's a mechanic and he's bringing me the vehicle and he's doing all this. I was taking him at his word. I didn't know he was sitting there hiding all this shit from me. I mean, and that's the ones that get you, right? The ones that fucking do everything for you and they're treating you good. Them are the ones you need to watch out for, because if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So I'm like, whatever, man, I'll see you in the morning. The morning comes, I'm all excited flying over there, man. Like, you know, I'm getting a truck and my mobile mechanic job has been down. I haven't been able to work for like a month. So like, we're completely out of money. Like, this is a fucking big deal, right? Well, as soon as I come around the corner, I go to look at the vehicle. This is the first thing I see. This huge dent right here. And I'm like, this was not in the pictures at all. This headlight doesn't work, turn signal's out, and this huge gash right here also broke this part off. So when I'm talking to him, I'm like, hey man, that wasn't there, what happened, you know? He goes, well, we had a little problem on the way up here. Because I was driving through, I think I was about to West Virginia, and I missed my exit. So I tried to swerve over real quick, went down in the ravine, came up and hit a pole. It's like, what the hell, you didn't tell me? He goes, yeah man, I didn't want you to get out of it or something. And I was thinking, so you just didn't tell me and drove it all the way up here? Because once he drove it up here and I'm looking at it, I had this overwhelming feeling that I had to buy this vehicle because he drove it all the way up. I didn't want to say no and him have to drive it all the way back. That's where my heart gets me in trouble. A lot of times I'll put myself in a bad situation just to help out somebody else. So here I am with my only $3,000 and I'm aggravated because of this. I mean, that looks like shit, right? And it's the point that he didn't even tell me about it. He drove all the way up here because he knows if he told me about it, there's a chance I might say, hey, all right, man, I don't want it. So he knew if we drove it all the way up here and then I seen it, well, the truck's already here, what can I do, right? So he's starting to tell me everything what happened. He said, well, also, let's take a look under the hood here. So then he proceeds to tell me that the vehicle also overheated on its way up. I did not know any of this. So he could have told me this shit, but he didn't because he thought I might back out. Well, that's fucking shady, right? So he tells me it's overheated, and what happened was the hose ended up splitting in two from the pressure, right? It's an older hose, and it blew antifreeze everywhere up here. So he had to cut off the bad piece of the hose, make it a little bit shorter, and then put it on that way. Also, the coolant reservoir somehow went bad on the way up. Here this is, he's got this universal reservoir. Now check this out. So he puts that reservoir on. So as you can see, we have all these zip ties holding this little hose on, but it's not doing its job. It's not tight enough. It's just stuck in there. So them are the things that happened on the way up that he didn't even tell me about till he got here. So now here we are with 1 hour before he has to go to work and he's telling me this stuff, right? And the worst part about it is he knew I was desperate. Anybody that watched this channel knew I was desperate to get a vehicle. So that's why he did not tell me. He knew if he got up here and just showed me the vehicle and I knew that he drove it up and like it's right here, he knew that I would go ahead and get the vehicle. So he fucking took advantage of me being desperate, and that's foul. Don't stab me in the back, man. Just do it to my face. At least then I'll respect you. but you're a snake. So then there's like 45 minutes before he has to go, and he starts pressuring me. He's like, all right, man, we gotta hurry it up, dude. Is everything okay? He's like, I gotta get there a half hour early, which is true. Yeah, you got there to get checked in and stuff. But why in the fuck did he have me come over at 6 a.m. when his flight was at 8 o'clock? Like, there's no time to even look at this vehicle. I do a quick test drive. I drive just a half a block down the road, come back, and I'm like, all right, man, I guess I'll take it. He's already here. I'm fucking desperate for the vehicle. Like, he fucking knows I'm gonna take it, man. So I give him the money, I take him to the airport. Now remember, the only thing he told me what was wrong was these two things that happened on the way up here that he didn't tell me till he got here, and then that the heat and the AC needed some work, which is fine. You know, I know the vehicle's gonna need a little bit of work. Well, then I get the vehicle back and I do a video for you guys because I'm still excited that I got a truck. At least I don't have to put a bunch of money into it. I don't have any money. When you're broke, you could give two shits less about heat or AC. You got a vehicle that runs, right? Well, not so fast. Once we get home and I'm starting to look at the vehicle, there's a bunch of shit that I find out that's wrong. The whole front end needed parts. I mean, look at this. And this is all the stuff we have to put in just for the front end. Look, we got a fucking lower control arm, we have inner tie rods, we have outer tie rods, we have all the ball joints, we have the sway bar link-ins, we have front shocks in there, and then we got a set of rear shocks back here that we have to put in. I found all that stuff just doing the video to show you guys my new mobile mechanic work vehicle. And you're gonna tell me, as a mechanic selling this vehicle, that you didn't know the front end was fucked up like that? Really? He told me as minimal as possible to get this vehicle off on me. I'll show you guys all that in that video. Well, the next day, I go to drive the vehicle, and I drove it for maybe 30 minutes. And guess what? Vehicle overheats, I break down at a gas station. So now, I don't even know if there's a small head gasket leak or something, because when I start the vehicle, we have a bunch of smoke that comes out. Now it goes away, and the vehicle can still go, but that's not normal at all. Then you guys seen that we had to put the belt tensioner on. Also, the idler pulley had to be put on. Spark plugs had to be replaced. Coil had to be replaced. Intake gaskets have to be replaced. There's a hole in the exhaust that has to be replaced. Like I said, the front shocks, the rear shocks, leaks oil bad, needs valve cover gaskets, leaking from there. I mean, anything that can leak is leaking. So this truck just got parked right here on this spot. It's usually back there. I moved this one up here like, I don't know, 3 days ago already. I mean, it just fucking leaks no matter what. These are a lot of problems. This is more than just a heating issue. Also, and he has this just put up, laid up in here. I mean, look at this. Look at this. What is this shit? You know? Just fucking had it rigged up, so when I hit a bump, that shit fucking fell off. With all this stuff, I don't even know how much money it is, but it's a lot of money, right? A lot of work, which I have to take time off work to do this stuff. And as a fucking mechanic, he ain't just a nobody. He's a fucking mechanic. Bragged about working on vehicles, and then you're gonna tell me you didn't know none of this shit? Listen, I had this vehicle for 5 months now. You guys know it's set there because a lot of the videos was talking about all the stuff that's wrong with it, and I had to get that stuff done first. We got the vehicle to be a mobile mechanic vehicle. Well, guess what you need is a mobile mechanic. I mean, you gotta be fucking mobile. This truck can't drive 15 minutes without it overheating. Well, then the kicker. 3 days ago, I'm driving, and guess what? Fucking transmission goes out. You can smell it a mile away. If you've ever lost the transmission, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just grinding away, and I'm thinking, God, the transmission just went out. When I bought the vehicle, I reset the trip. I have not went 250 miles. That is it. And the fucking transmission goes out. I reach out to old Chad Davis and I tell him what's going on. He's like, we did have some transmission problems, but I took it in and they fixed the flywheel. And I'm like, you didn't fucking tell me any of that shit. I mean, if you had transmission problems and you went and had it taken in and they fixed the flywheel, wouldn't that be something you would tell me? No, it's not. If you don't want me to know, you're just trying to sell me the vehicle. Made me look like a fucking fool. Here I am, got him on my YouTube channel saying how great he is. Look what he's done for me, guys. He did a good job. He fucking drove the vehicle up here. That is why he drove it up here. That is why he scheduled me to come over at 6 a.m. and he flies out at 8. He didn't want me to fucking be able to look at the truck for an hour, because then I would have found out all this shit and I wouldn't have bought the truck. So he set it up pretty good. You fucking hustled me, buddy. I reached out to you, let you know. I said, hey, man, I ain't drove 250 miles, showing him everything. I said, all the shit I found, I was just going to replace it. I'm going to replace the front end. I'm going to go ahead and put the shocks and all that shit in, you know? The fucking suck that hit it from me, and it's going to cost me over $1,000 to do all this shit. Yeah, it fucking sucks, but I was still gonna do it. It's my fucking fault for not fucking finding it. It's my fault for fucking letting you hustle me. I should have said, no, I need more time to look at it. You need to reschedule your flight. I should have drove it for fucking 20 miles on the highway. I get hired to actually do pre-inspections on vehicles. So people hire me and I go out and I inspect vehicles before they buy them, right? And then I couldn't even do that to my own fucking vehicle. I mean, I dropped the ball bad. I put my fucking trust into somebody and I shouldn't have, right? Just because he's a subscriber and he fucking sends me a nice email and he's halfway decent in person, it doesn't mean shit. Dude fucking hustled me straight up. I got proof of all this. I'm gonna put the messages, I'm putting everything in here. You know, I was gonna replace all that shit and I still wasn't even talking bad about you. I said on the video, oh, he must not have known about all this stuff because he's too good of a guy. He wouldn't have just done that. But in back of my mind, I was like, fuck yeah, he knew. He's a mechanic. He had the vehicle for 2 fucking years. You're gonna tell me he didn't know the fucking lower control arm was just fucking barely hanging on? That's why he wanted to get up here so fast. That's why he wanted to fucking just look at it real quick and then take him to the airport. He got that money and he was fucking gone. I'm gonna replace all this stuff. I was gonna bite the bullet. I mean, I've already fucking lost my money. I gotta replace it, right? It's the only option because I'm not just a mobile mechanic. I also do that other job right here. It's a 60-gallon tank right there. I deliver diesel fuel. That's another side hustle we have. But no, we can't. The transmission's out. We had the vehicle less than fucking 4 months. Haven't went 250 miles. Within them 250 miles, the fucking front end's almost fell off. The car's overheated 3 times. We haven't drove it more than 15 minutes at one time, and now the transmission goes out. Yeah, you fucking got me good, buddy. I fucking reached out to him. I said, look, brother, I don't want to call you out. You did me fucking wrong, and you know it. I said, I found a used transmission for $500. If you throw in $200 for this transmission, I'll pay the rest, put it in. I said, nothing will be mentioned about this. He responded as, vehicle is as is. You should have looked at it when you had a chance. That's what he responded. So now his mood's completely flipped. I gave him a warning this morning, said, look, brother, I'm going to make a video of this. Just letting you know now. He's like, oh, can't wait to see it. He's being a straight up asshole. He fucking knows he got me. He doesn't give a fuck. So yeah, that's why I'm going to put him on blast here. I'm going to send this to whoever I can. I know where he works. I'm going to let them know what he's done. I'm a fucking disabled veteran with a purple heart. And here you are fucking taking advantage of me, knowing how much I needed this. You know what I mean? Like, you seen me fucking break down in my videos. You know that I can't handle fucking stress. You know I needed this fucking vehicle, right? I fucking begged for the money from subscribers and you fucking did this to me. That's fucking foul of you, brother. You know, all I asked was for a few $100s to fucking make it decent, right? Just do the right thing. And you didn't. So fuck you, man. You're a piece of shit. So yeah, I'm putting this video out. There'll be a lot of people fucking say, well, you should have checked it out. You shouldn't have bought it. You shouldn't. It's too late for that. Yeah, so keep your fucking comments to yourself. That's it with this video. The mobile mechanic truck's down for a while, so we're not even going to be delivering fuel. We're not going to be doing any jobs for a while. You will have videos of me working on this fucking truck for the next fucking 2 years of my life. Hopefully we can just get it together and just get it sold, right? Get a couple $1,000s out of it. And then hopefully we can find something else. He got us good, man. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. If you want to donate to the new work truck fund, you can. The Cash App and PayPal will be right here on the screen. But you guys don't have to donate. You guys already did. You already sent money in. We bought a truck. We got fucking hustled. So I do not expect anybody to help. But if there's one person out there that does want to help, you can. All right, guys, that's it. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I still love you. And like always, Semper Fi. Till next time. And Semper Fi means always faithful. I mean, how ironic, right?